71. I swear I'm gonna smash my radio. Like Jim Carrey's whirling, grinning green mask said, "Somebody stop me!" Putin has consolidated his iron grip on Russian power and people to the ultimate Orwellian nightmare. Most every citizen has learned that they are not safe anywhere near anyone's mere complaint or hint of resistance against Putin's war or any other tyranny unless they pick up the phone and inform on even friends or family to the KGB. 100% of Putin's opponents are jailed or dead. War resistors can only remain free by fleeing Russia, as millions have done. Putin is driving into a number of little bordering nations, intent on regrowing the Russian Empire. His replacement could easily be an even more certain nuclear bomber. Russia now is in the iron grip of a culture of hatred for the Nazi drug addicts of Ukraine and all domestic people of slightest opinion variation as traitors. Another superpower totalitarian dictator is Xi Jinping of China. His hold on every communist party and military branch is historic, including the People's Armed Police ever cracking down on civil unrest. His Central Discipline Commission has punished millions of party members, including hundreds of high leaders and military generals. Other punishment bureaus go after less than perfect state workers, doctors, and executives of state-owned enterprises. This middle-aged, untouchable top dog should rule unchallenged for decades. Another nuclear power, Israel, trends even farther from democracy with its emotionally sickening war on millions of Palestinians who must suffer and die for the sins of a few thousand Hamas terrorists. After 7 months of scorched earth attack, Gaza today explodes in border-to-border IDF-Hamas war that has cut daily aid trucks towards millions of starving from 200 to 0. The war is primed for another 70 years. The United States remains in the iron grip of corporate corrupt weaponeering that owns an annual trillion in Treasury tax receipts. India and Pakistan are implacable enemies, each glorying in nuclear threat. North Korea is a starving totalitarian state frantically booming its own missile, bomber, submarine, nuclear triad, and appears driven to invade South Korea. China plans to attack Taiwan in about 3 years, and a Biden administration will respond with an all-out war of defense over the Taiwan Straits and the little breakaway island. These 6 sickos will stonewall all treaty pressure from the other mostly non-nuclear and moderate conventional powers, all candidates for your public international peace and survival law persuasion. Of the deadly powers, only America's population, if not fully corrupted leaders, will respond to our best campaign. Corrupt military power never listens or resigns. America's courts are our route to reversing corruption. Our movement must hammer 190 nations, border to border. All but the U.S. could fulfill most disarmament and survival treaty requirements except final military contraction while superpowers still rage. The 5 war-addicted holdouts will remain contemptuous of our treaty while their economies sputter along. We must destroy those economies with a 100% banking and raw and finished materials embargo. Unfortunately, broke and hungry people will have to riot against intransigent bosses taught to fear revolution and death more than the treaty that actually offers rewards to keep them on top. Of course, the corruption and militarism that they must give up, each was a giant source of their undemocratic power. So treaty adherence cannot happen until better, more humane leaders take over, many already leading the resistance to anti-treaty tyrants. Our treaty must demand obedience to constitutional humanity, which I will illustrate with an American jail story. Few Texas prisons are air-conditioned. 2 million prisoners across the United States also have no air conditioning. 105-degree summer day hits you with 125 in the sun and up to 137 degrees inside prison cells behind concrete walls. Texas prison officials and politicians claim 0 heat-related prison deaths. Or so the liars report from doctored death certificates before the many covered-up autopsies that find fatal heat damage, organ, and tissue devastation. Congressman James Comer is in charge of the committee that must consider all legislative proposals for national legislation to end this cruel and unusual punishment already prohibited by our Constitution. He has always refused to allow so much as a discussion of prospective, certainly expensive prison AC bills. Crooks who pine for comfort should have thought of that before getting caught with recreational drugs. Prison ain't recreation, punks. The purpose of our treaty is twofold. Stop killing us and treat us like the human beings that we are. So your treaty must require decent national constitutional laws that enforce our right to life and humane treatment of all, even offenders. If your Constitution does not guarantee life, liberty, and humanity, amend it before you can join our love pact. The success of our treaty, I detail through my speeches, will steadily ease men contemptuous of human rights out of power. Right now, 10,000 so-called laws around the world only contrive to lay out human victims for jackals to feast on. Know what I like about my treaty? It trashes every one of those power dog pedestals for clean, democratic, non-lethal, human-protecting, respecting, and nurturing rules, loving human family law. Utopia? Nah, we'll just die fast without it.